Hi Star Babies, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I have a little bit of a change going on today. My hair grew very fast over the week and so here we are. No, it's obviously a wig, and I know some of you out there might be wig experts. I'm not the expert with lace fronts, so don't judge me too hard. I'm just having some fun, obviously, with my little sexy outfit. The reason for this fun look is that I am starting a new series called Cosmic Chemistry. I get so many questions about romance and dating advice and my crush is this sign, what should I do to make him like me, or do you think we'd work out, or what are your impressions on this sign with this sign, and I thought I might as well just make a series to answer some of these questions all in one video. So today's going to be episode 1. I'm going to answer 4 questions or 4 requests. Oops. Better silence that. I'm going to answer 4 questions or relationship requests per episode. So just a little disclaimer for me. I don't claim to be a relationship expert. I am not an astrologer with a degree. I'm a self-taught astrologer. And I do recognize that with synastry and relationships and looking into horoscopes for love, there are so many factors that go into why a relationship might succeed or fail. I understand it's not just about sun signs. However, for the purpose of YouTube and for the purpose of just having a lighthearted good time, I'm going to focus on sun signs, my general impressions when I think of these signs together, things that could be issues. Yeah, we're just here to have a good time, okay? So don't read too deeply into it. I am absolutely not trying to discourage you from dating anybody or pursuing anyone because of their zodiac sign or anything like that. We're just here for a good time. Okay, so the first request I have is Cancer and Aquarius. I know actually a couple of these pairings in my life, and what I first think of is, as far as issues that you could come across, we have emotional hypersensitivity in the, day-to-day sense. People would see people with Cancer qualities as hypersensitive, ultra sensitive, and Aquarius as like sub-sensitive, like sub-basic sensitive. So oftentimes Aquarians are seen as cold and detached. They may not pick up on sensitivities that the Cancer is feeling. And Aquarius doesn't assume they've affected anyone emotionally really until they're told. Sometimes it can be really difficult for them to pick up on effects that they may have on someone emotionally, or to pick up on somebody's emotional reaction, whereas Cancer is very aware of their own emotions and of others' emotions at all times. It also might frustrate Cancer that they can't see through Aquarius, or that Aquarius doesn't open up to them a lot, because Cancer really bases their relationships on emotional connection, and Aquarians are very logical. They are very... It's kind of the heart versus the mind with this pairing. So as long as communication is there, as long as genuine interest is there, to prolong the relationship, I think it's a totally great couple, and I know a couple that's Cancer and Aquarius that have just gotten married and they're happier than ever. So it's really nothing to worry about. This is one pairing I would say, if you're going to do the one night stand or booty call thing, not the most... not the best coupling for that, because Cancer may feel very abandoned or very used by Aquarius, when Aquarius is really just like, oh, we were just having fun, it's no big deal. Those are my first impressions of that coupling. I definitely think there is attraction there, especially Cancer towards Aquarius, because they're just so carefree, and their emotions and their feelings don't seem to get them down. They're not like a self-pitying kind of sign, and Cancer can lean towards self-pity. So if they're looking for someone to bring them out of a depression or out of a bad time or out of low self-esteem, they may gravitate towards an Aquarius type. Of course, I don't think that relationships can fix your own problems, but yeah, those are my impressions of Cancer and Aquarius. Gemini woman and Scorpio man. My first impressions would be perhaps difficult. Another one of those signs that they're very different in the way that they operate. So a Gemini woman is going to be very flighty at times, very social, very, very social, very friendly to many people. She's going to be talking to many people at all times, and she's going to want her freedom. She really wants her freedom. She's smart. She's usually pretty street savvy. She can talk her way out of any situation. She doesn't need a white knight to come along and rescue her. And on the other hand, Scorpio, especially Scorpio men, can be very, very possessive. Honestly, that side of Scorpio isn't scary to me. The Cancer possessiveness is more scary to me, but it's just like, I love you so much. I need to know that I am every part of you and you are every part of me, and we are just each other's. It's hard to explain. Not we own each other. We are each other's. You know, I'm yours, you are mine. And Gemini would be very turned off by that idea. And that is something that that's something that needs to be there for Scorpio in order to feel comfortable, knowing that, okay, Gemini woman, you're not going to betray me. You're not going to just fly off one day and leave me and abandon me when I have given everything to you and you are everything to me. You know, that would be like cutting out their heart, really. Like, they are so deeply committed to their partners in that way. Now, if there's a one-night stand or a fling situation, I don't really actually find a lot of Scorpios that are very into like one-night stands or flings. Even though they're a highly sexual sign and they're a very sexualized sign, they are not like big hoes. You know what I mean? Like, they don't just jump around. There's nothing wrong with that. That can be very fun. But they don't just jump around from partner to partner to get their fix. Their sexual satisfaction, their romantic satisfaction comes from that emotional connection, that like soul connection. And certainly with a woman with a lot of Gemini or air in the chart, they may not be deep enough for Scorpio. Keep in mind, I'm dating a Gemini, not saying all of you are shallow, but with a lot of Gemini and with a lot of air in the chart, there is a tendency to seem at least very shallow and just not really want to get into that emotional world. And Scorpio is very much into the emotional world, and Scorpio can be very, very closed off, homebody, and Gemini, especially young, sparkly Gemini women, are quite the opposite. So that's my first impression of them. Their strengths would definitely be one needs the other. You know, Gemini can look to Scorpio to bring them back down to earth, to ground them, and to make them comfortable with emotion and emotional expression. And Scorpio can be taught from Gemini to lighten up a little bit, have fun, make light of things, be positive, and laugh a little bit more. Just have fun, be silly. Not everything is so serious. So signs can certainly learn from each other and certainly thrive. But for me, I do know, actually, what's very funny is a lot of my Gemini friends have been screwed over by Scorpios. They are one of those signs, Geminis, that just don't get Scorpio, and they're like, evil, Scorpios are evil, because they just don't get them and how they work, because they are quite different. Sometimes a Gemini will feel like they have to submit to the Scorpio's way of doing things. Scorpio can be dominating in that sense, and Gemini might feel bored and annoyed with the fact that they just kind of have to cater to Scorpio. They might have to tone themselves down, take things a little more seriously. I don't know. It can be kind of a tricky coupling. So that's my first impression on that. But of course, you know, with those very different characteristics, you need the other to be a balanced human being. Aries and Taurus, we have a fire sign and an earth sign. For me, this is a pretty stable coupling. I actually think this is a pretty good coupling, honestly, especially for the long term. I think Taurus can do a lot for the Aries. I think Aries, as we've talked about, have a tendency to be gung-ho, very spontaneous, very go after what they want, very aggressive, hot temper, and Taurus is quite the opposite. They weigh out everything they do. They want to make sure that it's stable. They want to, everything for them is building a steady foundation, doing something the right way, the safe way, and they don't pop off very easily in terms of temper. They're very patient, and they can handle someone with mood swings or anger swings and things like that. That's why so many Taurians work so well with Cancers, because they're just patient with that emotional stuff, and some other signs are like, absolutely not. Aries can definitely bring more passion and more spontaneity into Taurus's life, and Taurus can teach Aries that it's important to look critically at things sometimes. It's not really lame to do that. It's actually an important part of creating an adult life. So actually with this coupling, I see the Aries growing up a little bit, maturing a little bit, and I see the Taurus being brought out of their shell, some more excitement being brought into their life, spontaneity, laughter, and the encouragement to lighten up a little bit. And the Aries showing Taurus that sometimes taking risks is absolutely amazing. I certainly don't think this is a boring coupling. One thing is Aries might get a little frustrated with Taurus about their need for like stability and habit and having things the same way and just, dipping their feet in before they jump in the water. But nobody wants to be with someone exactly like them, honestly, unless you're a narcissist and you're in love with yourself. I really do think that there are reasons that opposites attract for different stages in life. If it's a fling or a one-night stand, or if it's marriage for the rest of your life. There are reasons why we seek perhaps what is not inherently in us in other people. It brings amazing opportunities to our lives. So for Aries and Taurus, I don't know. I think it's a great coupling. I think they can do a lot for each other, and I think if the Taurus is willing to follow Aries a little bit and shake off that need to control everything and to have things exactly according to plan and itinerary, it can be a lot of fun and a great learning experience. And my last coupling request was Capricorn woman and Sagittarius man. So this is really funny because this is my mother and father's signs. My mom is a Capricorn, my father's a Sagittarius, and they have been together for, I want to say they just celebrated their 25th or 26th anniversary, so they've been married for 25 to 26 years. My mom and dad are a different situation because I've looked into their charts, and they're quite, my mom especially is not Capricorn really to me. In many ways, especially in the relationship. So let's forget about my mom and dad, but it is a coupling that does work out. As you can see, there are intricacies within the chart that you need to look into. But in general, Capricorn, I think, first of all, they're both pretty honest. They appreciate loyalty and honesty, and in their own way, they have expectations for people. Sagittarius likes to tell it how it is. They are intelligent, they are culture lovers, travelers, they're open-minded. Capricorn can tend towards a little bit of a conservative vibe, a conservative and more controlled vibe just as an earth sign in general, but they are also smart, they value intellect, they value hard work, and they value honesty and loyalty. So I think in general, the communication between these signs is probably very healthy. Capricorn might not always be comfortable or even experienced expressing their emotions and their feelings, but I think Sagittarius can bring it out of them, can make them way less scared to just speak their mind, because honestly Sagittarius does it all the time. Sagittarius speaks their mind all the time. They would be like, that's the only way I know. So, that's what goes on there. Both signs can be quite stubborn, but there is, to me, a dynamic of perhaps the more mature one would be probably Capricorn, and would probably end up being kind of a martyr in the relationship, though. If Sagittarius is upset, Capricorn's just gonna go along with Sagittarius to make things easier, because Capricorn is just, it's not worth it rocking the boat. They love this person. So there has to be a compromise with the stubbornness, and Sagittarius definitely needs to realize that Capricorn might not always assert their way and just speak their mind all the time and say, no, absolutely not, we're doing it this way. They might not always be that way. Sometimes Capricorns can actually be pretty, well, go with the flow, you know, as long as it seems safe and reasonable, as long as it's practical. So Sagittarians are already so independent, and so is Capricorn, and that's why I think this is a great healthy coupling most of the time, because Sagittarians love single life, they love independent life, and even when they're with someone, they're like, I'm still my own, I am independent of you, you don't own me. And Capricorn most of the time is the same. They've got big things going on. They most of the time know their worth, and they know that they've got a million things going on. They're not gonna jump into relationships just to be in relationships because they're bored. Neither sign is that way. Sagittarius sometimes can even have difficulty being super emotional or intimate with others, which Capricorn can have too. So once they're actually together and drawn to each other and comfortable around each other, it can be this amazing relationship where they learn love language. There's honesty involved, there's a healthy amount of independence and knowledge of self-worth, and they both have things going on in their life, which is so important in a relationship, because neither of these signs can handle, well, Capricorn could. Sagittarius is not going to handle a clinger, like an annoying, needy, emotional clinger. So to me, this is a great pairing. Alright, I didn't want to make this video too long, so yeah, I did 4 of those pairings. I have some more already requested that are coming up, but please leave your comments down below of any romantic, dating, synastry, chemistry, sexy questions. I don't care. And I could include them in any upcoming cosmic chemistry episodes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and playing dress up along with me. Let me know if you like the wig. Hopefully I'll get better at putting it on. It's kind of hard to, even with short hair, but you know, it's fun. I hope you guys have an amazing week, weekend, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. Know that I am so grateful that you stumbled upon my channel, and I love you so much. Mwah! Bye guys.